Recently, the number of crimes, especially collective ones, has increased in the United States, as 4 of them occurred during the past week, confirming many concerns after the events of the Capitol building on January 6. We start from the latest one. On Tuesday 6th of April, where a Navy corpsman shot 2 other service members, wounding one of them critically, at a Maryland business park before traveling to a nearby Army base where he was shot and killed. Authorities in Frederick, about 45 miles northwest of Washington, identified the shooter as Vandahan Girmawoldesenbet, a 38-year-old U.S. Navy hospital corpsman. The initial shootings were at a sprawling suburban-style complex of buildings that house commercial businesses. Afterwards, the attacker went to an Army base about 4 miles away. He then brandished a weapon at the military personnel, who pursued him. He was then fatally shot. As to whether the shooter knew the victims, a General Army said they were looking into it but refused to speculate. Authorities said detectives are still trying to determine a possible motive. On Wednesday 31st of March, a shooting in a real estate building in Suburban has left 4 people dead, including a child. The attack happened in the city of Orange, southeast of downtown LA. The attacker, who was wounded in an exchange of gunfire with police, has been taken into custody. The gunman knew his 4 victims, and had a family relationship with at least one of them. One of the 4 victims was a 9-year-old boy, died in the arms of his wounded mother. The mother, and the attacker, who identified as 44-year-old Aminadab Gonzalez, was in a critical condition. This attack was the 3rd mass shooting in the U.S. within a March. 8 people, 6 of them Asian women, were shot dead at 3 Atlanta area spas on March 16. Less than a week later, a man opened fire at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado, killing 10 people. On Friday 2nd of April, a U.S. Capitol Police officer was killed after a car rammed a security barricade protecting the complex, locking down the building for 2 hours, and reigniting tensions in a city still struggling to return to normalcy after the deadly January 6 insurrection. The man drove his car into 2 officers and then crashed into the barricade. The driver exited the vehicle with a knife, lunged at one of the officers and was shot by police. The attacker, who identified as 25-year-old Noah Green, was taken into custody. Him and the 2 seriously injured officers were transported to hospitals, where 1 officer and the attacker died. The Capitol building was being fortified Saturday and security beefed up, as flags flew at half-mast. On Monday 5th of April, police found 6 family members in a suburban Dallas, fatally shot home early, after police say 2 brothers made a pact to kill 4 family members and themselves. The dead included the 2 brothers, a sister, their father and mother, and a grandmother. Those dead ranged in age from 19 to mid-70s. The slayings happened over the weekend. One of the 2 brothers wrote a lengthy post on social media, in which he said he and his brother had a plan to kill their family members, and then themselves. He also wrote that all of his decisions were based on weighing pros and cons, including the decision to kill his family. On Tuesday 6th of April, a 45-year-old mother and 2 of her daughters were shot dead by the father of her youngest child girl, after he came to the Brooklyn apartment to celebrate the birthday of the little girl. The child, 9-year-old, called police late Monday to report the death of her mom and 2 older sisters at the hand of her father in Brownsville. The sisters, one in her early 20s, the other in her teens, had a different father by the same mother. Two victims were found in a hall area and one in the living room. The little girl was found hiding in the family's apartment at the Van Dyke houses. The killer was identified as 46-year-old Joseph McCryman of Mount Vernon. Had been in a domestic dispute with the girl's mother. I'm Farah Chaloub for Public Press.